Today, I'm going to show you some great ways to improve your virtual studio experience. Hi, I'm Mike Arce, CEO of Loud Rumor, an organization that helps fitness studios all over the world grow and be more successful. I'm also the host of Top Fitness Business Podcast, the GSD Show, and your host today as well. And if you like these tips, subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell to get notified when I release new videos like this one. Since March 15th, a lot has changed in the industry. One of which is a transition many fitness studios have had to make by going from their normal in-fitness studio experience to an online version their members can join in from home while in quarantine with all their toilet paper. And while many studio owners scramble to learn how to do this, fitness Instagram influencers are wondering what took them so long to get here. Over the last few weeks, I've interviewed and surveyed over 100 fitness studio owners, many of their members, and I even have gone through a dozen virtual workouts myself. And with all that, I put together a list of tips to enhance your online at-home fitness studio experience. Tip number 1. If possible, host and stream your workout from your actual fitness studio. I know not every studio can do that right now, but if you can, it makes for a better background, you'll have more space, and you'll usually have better lighting than from the living room you're used to falling asleep in while watching Tiger King.
Carol Baskin is so influential that Carol Baskin, I consider that.
Also, it creates an excitement from your members on getting back in there when able. Tip number 2, if you do have to stream from your home, find an area with a lot of space and great lighting. It may also be better for you to either A, set up a room for you to do these workouts if you can, or host your workouts outside in your backyard if possible. All right, guys, so for this set here, we're gonna be doing push-ups. So I want you guys to follow along with me, and then I'm gonna break after the first 3 or 4. You keep going, and I'll check your form, okay? So let's get started in 3, 2, 1, and go. If you can go at this pace, this is the best pace to go. You guys keep going. I'm gonna stop and check your form. Good, good. Chris, keep your butt down a little lower. Good. If you have to do it inside, invest in some great studio lighting that you can usually get on Amazon for $80 or so. Tip number 3. When streaming, whether from your studio or at home, call your internet provider and upgrade your internet speeds to the best you can afford. Upload speed is going to be the most important here, so ask your provider how close you can get to 30 or 40 megabytes per second on your upload. If you can get it to 80 megabytes or higher, that should be okay. But the higher the better. If you can plug directly into your router with an Ethernet cable, you won't have to rely on spotty Wi-Fi that's been worse as internet usage has dramatically increased. Tip number 4. If possible, have 2 trainers host a workout. Running them alone is fine, and I'll show you how to do that, but if you can run it with a partner, it's great because you can keep switching on and off with one of you demonstrating the workout and the other up close watching each member work out, checking their form, holding them accountable for them doing their best, and gauging the room to make sure everyone is having a good workout. As a member, it also feels like you're actually watching me the entire time. Creepy? Maybe a little. But I didn't take one set off like I did for others that didn't do this. Tip number 5, if you do have to run the session alone, then don't do full sets. Demonstrate the exercise you want them to do, follow along for the first few reps, and then let them know to keep going and that you're going to come and check their form, like this. Chris, keep your butt down a little lower. Good. Joe, keep your shoulders over your wrists. Good job. I'm going to finish with you now. This allows you to demonstrate and coach at the same time. Remember, you're not a YouTube video. You're a live, interactive coach. That's what they're paying for. YouTube is free. Tip number 6. Throughout the workout, call out your members by name, not just to hold them accountable, but to encourage them and tell them they're doing a good job. In a survey, we learned that the number 1 reason people enjoyed the live online workouts, which was twice as high as the number 2 reason, was for the socialization aspect. People are at home all day with the same few people, all day, every day. This is their one break from all that. Let's not forget, some people even live alone, and you may be the one person, the only person they really connect with each day, so make it count. Tip number 7. On that last tip, when you do call out your members by name, don't just continue to tell them how great of a job they're doing. You're their coach. Coach them. If they're not working as hard as you know they can, ask them to give you more. If they're doing push-ups with their butt too high in the air, ask them to drop their hips. And if you catch them picking their nose thinking nobody can see them, remind them that the entire class can see them. Actually, that one you can let slide, but not from their form or effort. Call them out. Then, when they do it right, acknowledge and praise like you normally would in person. Tip number 8. The first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes. Remember, that socialization is the #1 reason members admit they are happy to continue paying for a live online workout over free workouts on YouTube. So, spend the first and last 5 minutes of each class saying hi to each individual person. Acknowledge them. Tell them how proud you are that they actually made it through today's workout. And maybe compliment their outfit that you've noticed they've worn all week. #QuarantineLife. Tip number 9. Be early. If your class starts at 8 a.m., you show up by at least 7:50. Many people tend to be early. This is your chance to talk one-on-one with your members for more time outside of the actual class. That first person that shows up gets your undivided attention. Then, as the second, third, and fourth show up, it's small enough of a group to continue chatting while everyone else does. Business relationships are no different than any other. It's not about making the sale once. You have to continue finding ways to strengthen the relationship and ask them questions about how they're doing, their goals, challenges, and anything else you can talk about before you kick their ass for the next 45 minutes. Tip number 10, be sure they sign waivers. Many of you that converted from the traditional studio to an online studio have just kept the same waivers. You need to update the waivers as you do not have control of their environment, the people or animals around them, or the equipment that they use. Also, if they get hurt, you're not there to help them. Have your existing members re-sign a new waiver with these points, and all new prospects do the same. The tool Waiver King makes it really easy where they can just quickly sign it digitally in less than 1 minute from their phone. Tip number 11, send a confirmation email and text the day before and 15 to 30 minutes prior to their workout. We are all in quarantine. Half of us don't know what day it is, and the other half still thinks it's March. The best studios look at it as, if they forgot about our class, it's my fault, not theirs. And that's the right attitude. Tip number 12, shout out new members and trial members at the start of the session. Remember, just like any other day when there isn't a zombie apocalypse,
what's this?
new members and people on trials aren't fully comfortable in the new setting with strangers. We know that and always like to make them feel special, at home, and allow them to get to know the other members so they can feel at home. Do the same here. Tip number 13, have extra energy and inject humor whenever possible. I've seen good ones and I've seen some boring ones. Both people thought they were good. One was right. Remember, most of your members are following along from their home, in their living room, with a picture of their grandma and grandpa by their first car in 1956. This room is not set up for high energy and the get shit done attitude. So, if it doesn't come from you, then it doesn't come at all. Smile throughout the entire class, and if you can ask them to make their entire body hurt, I can ask your cheeks to do the same. These cheeks. Tip number 14, warm them up. Especially if you have early morning classes, chances are they just rolled out of bed, put on socks and sneakers, and worked out in whatever they slept in and took 18 steps from their bed to their living room to start exploding into burpees and jump squats. Normally, that's not the case. Get them warmed up and stretched before kicking off the workout. And during this time, you can use tip number 8 and talk with them and build rapport. Tip number 15, cool them down. This is not only good practice anyway, but also a chance to make announcements. Take those 5 minutes at the end of class and give them some stretches to do with 30-second holds. During these stretches, let them know about things you have going on, special weekend classes, virtual activities, referral programs, or anything else you want to bring awareness to. Use it also to congratulate and shout out new members or trial members as well. Tip number 16, use a backpack. I see trainers telling members to use cans of beans, laundry detergent, gallons of water, and even their 98th percentile son Elijah that hates to be picked up and melts out of your arms in the middle of curling him. Your members' kids are home and aren't using their backpacks. They can fill them with any of those things to increase the weight as desired. Even Elijah. Can't melt out of a backpack, kid. Tip number 17. Don't play music from your studio and expect it to sound awesome. It won't. It won't even sound good. It's a distraction. Instead, send them a Spotify playlist the day before and ask them to have it ready and play it on their own device. They can even play it on the same computer they're using for your class and lower the music just on Spotify and not the entire computer. Now they can play it louder, lower, or just turn it off if they choose. They can even change the music if they really want to avoid your EDM playlist they're tired of hearing. Tip number 18, give modifications. I've noticed trainers in their 30s and olders do a good job of remembering to do this. Trainers under 25 seem to believe that members like 38-year-old Charlie can still drop it like it's hot without chopping that movement into thirds. So every time you give a challenging movement, give a modified version of that movement as well. Tip number 19, be good at verbal cues. Unlike the experience in a physical setting where members can use their peripherals and see what others are doing, here they only have a screen. Sometimes it's just their phone screen. If they're in the middle of doing exercises like push-ups, planks, crunches, or burpees, they can only rely on verbal cues on what to do. In one class I was in, the trainer would yell out, "All right, 10 seconds left." Meanwhile, to me, "all right," said like that means this set is over. It sucks to stand up and realize there are still 10 seconds left. Tip number 20. The trainer doing the demonstrating will always be the member's inspiration. If the trainer stops 4 seconds early, it naturally gets the members to stop that set early as well. I've seen it happen too many times. However, in a few sessions I've been in, the instructor would say, 5 seconds left, but let's do 6 as a bonus. I'll tell you when to stop. Let's go, let's go. And every set, all the other members were inspired to do more than what they had planned. A good thing. Tip number 21, talk close to the laptop. If you do have 2 coaches, as recommended, then have one close to the laptop watching and coaching from there so the audio is crisp. If you can't have 2 people in the same room, then have another instructor sign into the class from their home and coach from there. You just need the coach to have good audio. It matters. The instructor demonstrating is too far away and the audio sounds terrible and too homemade. Again, if you only have one instructor that can do this, then make sure he or she gets close to the screen to talk and coach. Tip number 22, record each session. This is not only good for your members as they can go back and watch sessions they missed or rewatch sessions they really enjoyed, but also good for you and your team to go back and rewatch from a third-party perspective and improve your performance. Remember, all professionals watch film and improve. Athletes do it, musicians do it, actors do it, comedians do it, and you should do it too, if you consider yourself a professional. These are 22 tips I've gathered in my first 12 online workouts. I'm sure I'll be adding many more videos like this, so be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and visit loudrumor.com to get on our email list where I send tips like this out, as well as tips on how to keep members longer, get new members, and overall, just be a more successful fitness studio owner. See you next time.